Welcome to Coffee with Findity, the place where you will learn about the latest business trends straight from industry experts themselves. My name is Emil Andersson and I am the head of marketing here at Findity. Today we're going to learn about the challenges and possibilities when digitizing the HR department. Joining me is none other than the head of HR operations at Tele2, Helen Brown.
Hi, thank you. Nice to be here.
Yeah, welcome. Super exciting to have you. So, Helen, we know your title,
Yes.
but what do you actually do on a daily basis?
Yeah, that's a good question. At Tele2, I am responsible for the payroll, the HR support. We have HR IT. And then I also have a new team, actually, which are called People Process Specialists. So sort of like maybe junior HR business partners, you can say. It's a quite broad role. It's quite a lot of people actually right now. It's a new role since October, and it's very exciting, and I really enjoy it.
I can tell from your face. So, if I may ask, how much headcount do you have?
I have 15 at the moment.
15. Okay, all HR. Okay, it's a big HR team in Tele2. You can tell. And in order for me to get to know you a bit better and for you guys viewing to get to know Helen a bit better, I have a question that I want to start all of these episodes with, and that is, if you were going to a deserted island, what are the top 3 things that you would bring?
Ooh, nice. That's a hard one. Now you didn't say if I could bring things or people. So if there's no rules, I would bring my husband and my 2 children, and then I can live there forever. I don't know if my children would actually enjoy it as much as I would. But if I can't bring my family, I would say a knife, I think.
Okay.
A fish net, I think is good. And probably a small boat powered by solar panels.
So, full on survival mode?
Yes.
Or to bring your entire family?
Yeah.
That's very nice of you, to bring them to a deserted island.
I think I can stay there then. If I have them, I can stay there.
And we don't really have any rules to this question, so maybe they are allowed to bring 3 things as well.
Great.
So all of a sudden you bring all of your family to the island. Well, that's very smart.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right, let's jump straight into it. I'm really curious, like Tele2, from not just my perspective, but it's kind of general consensus that you're a very tech-savvy and digital company. Would you say that it's part of your internal spirit to always strive to optimize and digitize your processes in your organization?
I think absolutely, I would say. I see Tele2 as an enabler for other companies to do what they do the best and digitize and automate their processes as well. We can take this new sort of product that we have now, which is private mobile network. So basically you have your own 5G network. It can be within a storage, a harbor, which is really enabling companies to digitalize and automate their processes to the maximum, I would say. So in our DNA, I would say as well, because this is very important for us to deliver to our clients or customers, it's also important for us internally to work with this, of course. And I think the more you work with digitalization and data, the smarter you get. We can take sustainability as an example, where we are now I would say we were the first carbon neutral company in our organization or our branch in the Nordics, in our own operations, which is huge. And I think if we don't have the data and we're not digitalized, we can't get that data. We cannot analyze it. So I think internally as well, this is very, very important. And this is not only for me and my department, it's for the whole company, of course. So yes, it's in our DNA. It's in the culture, I would say, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, this with data is, basically the ground that you need to be able to do smart decisions moving forward. So digital processes really helps on that. And because in the past you could have a lot of data, but you couldn't access it. Do I understand you correctly?
Exactly. And I think we've had a lot of data before, but maybe we didn't know really what to do with it.
Yeah.
And to have things automated instead of having Excel sheets where somebody sits there and do calculations every month, it doesn't work. It's not the future.
Yeah.
So we need to get a step ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to say, but yeah, Excel sheets are not the future.
No, it's not.
You hear
I
it
don't think
here first from Helen Brown.
I love Excel though, so I'll put that in.
Yeah.
There. I love Excel, but not to maybe automate and take the next step. I would say in this. Yeah.
Then you have to go beyond the Excel
Yes,
spreadsheet.
definitely.
But more specifically to your expertise and domain, what are the benefits with a more digital approach to the HR function?
I would say maybe in the payroll area, definitely the automation and digitalization has made the process not even more effective, but also more accurate. We see less and less errors on the payroll, which is huge. Of course, we want the payroll and the salaries to be correct every month. So I would say within the payroll area, that's a big thing. And then within the HR department, I mean, now with COVID, we had to take it more digitally. For example, our onboarding process, which was really in the office before, and now we're more digitalized. We have everything set up for our new employees, and they get a good start, even though it's behind the screen. So I think within HR, maybe we've been lacking a bit behind. I think other parts of the company has came further, but I think now we're getting there definitely, and also maybe taking a step ahead.
Gaining the momentum.
Yeah, I
really.
think so. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, but very exciting to hear. And one thing that I stumble across quite often, and that is you hear clients of ours or prospects of ours who actually just are curious, like, where do you even start digitizing? Some companies have gotten further than others, of course, but how do you, in your role and where you are, how do you prioritize your digitization projects?
Yeah. And I think for Tele2 as a whole, we always look at customer first. And that's the same for me, but my customers are internal. So it's the employees and managers. So we have to look and see what can we bring to the table to make our processes within the organization better. We don't want employees to spend an hour every month on expense reports or time reporting. It needs to be quick, it needs to be accessible, and I think we started there. What has the biggest impact for the whole company? And then you can make progress within the team as well and make it easier for us in the team. But I think the goal is to actually make it better for the organization so they can focus on the things that they're good at.
Yeah. And when you say impact, like the biggest impact, would you say in your situation at least that it affects the most employees or customers, as you call them, or is that something else?
I would say the employees, that they affect the employees, and they don't have to spend time on task that really doesn't give them anything back or any value. So it's more for, yes, they want the salaries to be correct, they want to have the expense reports paid out, of course, but at the end of the day, it should be very quick and very easy for them to do it the correct way.
Yeah.
So I think it's absolutely the employees is in the first prioritization for us. Yeah.
Oh, but that's great. So after implementing, well, I don't know how many, but maybe you have some guesses, all of you guys watching, but after implementing tons of different digital solutions to your entire organization, but specifically to your team, what are the sort of most common challenges and learnings that you have taken with you that you can share with everyone watching?
Yeah. I think before you start a project, you should really sit down and see, okay, what is it that we actually need and why do we need it? And from there, because it might be that you see 5 different areas and they're all really important, you have to prioritize. And then really specify for whoever is going to deliver this service to you that this is really like, this is must-haves, this is, need have, and this is good to have. And really spend time on that and ask the organization what they need. Because sometimes we think that we know what the organization needs, but then you get out there and it's a different story.
Mm.
So I would say involve employees and managers as well in the process. So I think that's something that I've learned throughout the years, and I think it's also very important for the organization to feel included. Feel like they've been part of the journey. It's also easier to accept the change, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And do you have any tips for all of the viewers whenever, like, how do you collect that input from the organization? I mean, you can ask in a meeting, I assume, but do you have any tips? How do you actually get the information from the organization?
Yeah. I think building a sort of a network, which I did when I first came to Tele2, sort of like see key employees, key managers that are good to have in these sort of projects, and then also look at the different areas. We might think that, oh, but this group of people, they're always asking questions. We don't want to talk to them. Those are the people you want to involve. So I would just say, like, spread it out throughout the organization, and network, I would say also, and ask around anyone interested. We're working on this project. Anyone want to join?
So really make sure that you know the entire organization, regardless of which department
I
they
would say
belong
so,
to.
yes.
And sometimes what I have learned, at least, is that those who are not the loudest have the best ideas.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to dig deep sometimes
Exactly.
to really understand the needs.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also the communication is key here. So you don't want to go on the day you launch something saying that now we have a new product here. You want to say that, ahead of time, and saying we're thinking about launching this. It's coming in a couple of months. We want your feedback. We might have a pilot group that tests. So the communication is also key. You don't want to surprise nobody. They should know that this is coming.
Yeah. Great. Well, we're ready to round off, but I have one really interesting question that I want to ask you.
Yeah.
And that is, of course, if you could find 1 more hour per day, what would you do with that?
It's another very good question. And I think there's a right answer here. You say like, oh, I would take up Chinese or Japanese or something. But no, I'm going to be
Always
honest
learn,
here.
right?
Exactly, always learn. But I think in the world that we're living in now, and it's stressful. You have your full-time work. The kids are in school. I would say maybe take that hour and actually spend with the family.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Family always comes first,
Yeah,
right?
it does. Yeah, yeah.
All right, Helen, it's been my pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. And for everyone watching, thank you so much, and the best of luck in all of your digitization processes moving forward. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.